All right, thank you everyone for joining the after lunch session. I know you're probably all feeling a bit lulled from all the great sausages that we've had here. But my name's Christopher Jenkins and I'm the Solutions Architect for Quantum, Australia and New Zealand, and I'm specialising in the media and entertainment workflow side of Quantum. For everyone who doesn't know who Quantum is, we are a storage vendor. We specialise in scale-out storage and asset management for media and entertainment customers, post-production, broadcasters, trying to bring in data management into your everyday workflows from primary storage, archive, all the way out to the cloud. So today what I'm here to talk about is artificial intelligence inside storage. Now, it's probably one of the new hot topics around. I know it's been discussed at IBC this year, as well as the Creative Storage World in the US. And it's the premise of trying to bring machine learning to data on storage. So I've got a few interesting facts that we've found out about data. So 80% of our content that is unstructured is big content data. So we're talking film, streaming media, YouTube, and we have no idea what that value is, or probably most of us don't realise its full potential. And then 20% is what we class as big data, and I think that's what everyone up until this point has been talking about, is big data storage systems. And they're traditionally structured data, and we all know what their value is. We've got databases and databases full of information that we use daily in all aspects of our lives. So some other interesting facts that I found is that a prediction by 2020, the global data sphere, we're looking at 163 zettabytes of data out in the world that we are going to have to store. More importantly, we're going to have to manage. And how are we going to do that? So artificial intelligence engines, here's the vision, can allow deeper learning into media. Now, this does sound a bit scientific from sci-fi films, and is this really a reality today? Which is what we're sort of going to delve onto a little bit further. So here's an idea for all of you guys post-production broadcasts. Imagine a world where you could take audio from text and transcribe that without requiring humans to do that. You could validate results from your AI engines automatically, understand public sentiment in audio in your videos, or even just add intelligent metadata. What is inside that video file? What are you seeing? What does a human see in there without using humans to enter that? And the ability to get near real-time indexing of your data. That's not just a file name, what format it is and where it lives, but indexing is what logos were in that film, what car drove through that vision, what actor appears at that particular section of that video. It all sounds great, but is it really a reality? So today, we've got various cloud providers, Amazon, Google, and Azure, that all offer this machine learning or this AI capabilities today. You can all go sign up for free for most of these services and get working with it today. The only issue that may be there is how are you going to integrate that into your asset management systems, into your already existing storage systems? If you've got in-house teams that can take all this information, integrate it, it's great. But how does the average post-production facility or broadcaster harness that power which is available today in the cloud? So I've just taken a few quotes that I found quite interesting from the Creative Storage Conference that was held this year, where Quantum and various other storage vendors spoke. And one of them I found quite interesting was, knowledge workers were wasting about 50% of their time hunting for data, identifying and correcting errors, and seeking confirmatory sources for the data so that they can be trusted. This was back in 2013 from the Harvard Business Review, sort of seeing this trend. The next quote comes from Dave Elliott. This is from Google Cloud, as presented at the at the storage conference, and he said, unstructured data, that is ordinary information, videos, sensory measurements, not in a formal structure. So we probably know that. Such as databases is growing by leaps and bounds. Factors such as high resolution, high frame rate, multicam video projects, and the Internet of Things will lead to about 56% annual increase in this type of data each year. So when we're sort of looking at that quote, that's pretty much our media industry. High resolution, high frame rate, multi-cam data. We're looking at this type of increase. How are we going to handle and manage that? So what Quantum's done is they've gone out and had a look at the landscape of AI, or artificial intelligence, and we've looked at very different vendors out there who integrate this type of service together, and we've come across a company called Veritone, who make a product called aiWare. And what Quantum has done is entered into a partnership whereby we can utilise the powers of aiWare on top of our storage layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a video by Ryan Steelberg, who's the president of Veritone, to let him introduce what Veritone is and how they use it today.
At Veritone, we process thousands of hours of audio and video. As we take in that audio and video content, we leverage state-of-the-art artificial intelligence engines such as natural language processing, speech recognition, facial recognition, tonal analysis, sentiment analysis, and others that turns that data into actionable intelligence. I think what excites me the most about Veritone is I believe AI, up until this point, has been locked up. It has not been unleashed so that we as consumers or other businesses can readily take advantage of it. And I think through our cognitive media platform and what we're building at Veritone, we're going to bring AI to the masses. And once we've created all this very important data from this audio and video, it can be applied immediately to different areas of the organization to improve and drive revenue, to drive efficiencies, whether that be in advertising sales, whether that be programming, or even on the consumer front for search and discovery, getting their content in front of the consumer as fast as they can in a very organized fashion. If you look at some of our advertising clients, historically, they or their agencies would have to manually listen or watch thousands of hours of audio and video to identify when some of their ads are clearing or when branded integrations actually occur, costing millions and millions of dollars for these businesses. We automate that entire process and can do in a few minutes, and in some instances a few seconds, what would historically take days or weeks to process. One of the forms of advertising that has been very effective historically, but is very hard to track or value, is branded integrations or product placement, putting ads directly into the content or programming itself, compared to interrupted-based advertising like spot-based advertising. We've developed some very powerful and seamless technologies that allow us to bring the resolution and accuracy of tracking product placement. That is a game changer. That opens up an entirely new ecosystem of ad dollars that we can invest into programming that is both very effective for the advertisers and agencies, but acceptable by the end consumer. At Veritone, we help media companies better understand and extract information from all the programming that they're producing. For example, ESPN, which has been a client for over a year, we ingest thousands of hours of content from ESPN, and we use our technology to turn that linear programming into data that they can act upon.
Right, so now you've heard from Ryan there about what Veritone, this company, is doing with their AI product. What we're now going to start to explore is how is Quantum and Veritone going to go ahead and to create a product today that can be integrated into Quantum's existing storage, Accelus-based appliances, or sold to new customers to be able to harness or leverage the power of AI. So what Quantum and Veritone are bringing is a best-of-breed storage from Quantum, where we can provide on-premise high-speed storage, archives and abilities to move that data around your organisation, be it to tape, object storage, cloud, or even to different geographical locations. We can allow you to unlock that hidden value of your stored data on our storage systems, no matter where it is, through the power of Veritone's AI engine, which is built directly into the StoreNext Accelus storage range. And it gives you the ability also to minimise data movement because typically if we look at some of the other AI integrations on the market today with the leading cloud providers, for customers who have data that does not originate in the cloud, some of these services do require that you need to push this data up into the cloud for all the cognitive engines to work on the data to derive this metadata. With Veritone, we're able to offer a hybrid approach where we can keep your data on-premise if that is where it needs to be, but then give you that ability to still leverage the power of AI in your storage. Alright, so the capabilities of Veritone AI it allows you to extract the intelligence soon after the data is stored on your storage. So as we are receiving data into a Excelis-based StoreNext system, we have AIware running on our storage, watching all the data that is coming in. And as soon as that comes in, our customers are able to define where storage or where those files go in that storage and into what engines are going to be used to derive particular bits of metadata that they desire. Then AI brings in the ability to process those files through those cognitive engines. It also gives them the ability to then search that metadata and to analyze that data. So that's really important. If you're going to be having an AI system that is getting all of the valuable information out of your files, it's very important that you need to be able to find it and search it. And that's where Veritone has APIs and integration whereby all of that information can get extracted out of Veritone's web metadata store and placed into our customers' asset management systems to really sort of leverage the power of the information that's coming out. And then with the ability to offer Veritone AI's deployment model as a hybrid solution, we're able to move the cognitive engines closer to where the data resides as well, which is also a very important aspect if you are an on-premise data customer. So at the moment, Veritone offers over 65 cognitive engines, and we are growing at a fairly steady rate. So at the moment, what we can use AIware to do is to do transcoding, facial detection, object recognition, logo detection, sentiment. That's sentiment and speaking voice. We could use AI right now with this recorded streamed footage to create a transcription of what I'm saying right now and have it the ability to search on that data and act on that data accordingly. We also could have the ability to translate this into different languages, so people who don't speak English could understand this very session of what we're talking about, and on a video-on-demand catch-up service. We bring the ability to geolocate and many more. And I think really today, customers, or you guys as customers right today, we're starting to see the power of AI coming a lot more into products through consumer-grade products. Apple in their announcements most recently with iOS 11. We've got Google Photos as well. The amazingness there is you can take a photo with no geotagging, with absolutely no information or metadata that we would know attached to that file, upload it to Google Photo, get it to detect your face, to detect where you took that photo, and give them as searchable meta tags for you. So, whether we know it or not, this type of AI is sort of coming into our lives more and more through the different products and services we use. So why not leverage that to help us organise our data in our own businesses? So this is the structure of Veritone's AIware software. So where we start here is up the top of the application layer. So these are different modules that you can plug in. A CRM module, a discovery module, a collection module, and a library module. So what this allows you to do is to have your data in the CMS module catalogued off our storage to be able to see what files you have there. They then give you the discovery module to be able to see the results of the AI information that is pulled out of those files, to give it to you in a way that is searchable, the way you can tag it, and the way you can make business use out of that. And then collections gives you the ability to create searches and save them into different views, so that as your data is scanned, particular views get populated with the video files or the audio files or the text files as the engines work. And then the library, the most important one, that is a collection of all the cognitive engines that you have from aiWARE to apply to different types of workflows. Then what we do is we move down into the conductor layer, and this is where the whole brains of the operation starts to work. So what we do is we have a media file that comes into the StoreNext Axelis storage area. We have inside the system models that have already been built to say, when you see this particular type of file or files coming into the environment, I would like you to put them through the different cognitive layers. That could be facial detection, then transcribe, and then geolocation. So what Conductor does is it finds those files, it gets those files and guides them through the cognitive layers inside of Veritone, verifying as we pass from one engine to the next that the information that we're getting out is as accurate as possible, or as we can derive from the files we are given. This is like a workflow through the system. Once it's finished, the file moves out of that arena, ready for the next piece of data to come in. So the way we deploy Veritone, there is a cloud-only model which allows customers who have data that does originate in the cloud, lives in the cloud, to leverage this service. And Veritone is based on Amazon's web service and also Microsoft Azure's cognitive engines. So we've taken away that need for organisations to take those great services, integrate them into a product that they could use, or we can buy an off-the-shelf service like what Veritone AI offers. And then the other way we can deploy this is via the hybrid approach, where we localise the AI onto the customer's premises. So this is the model which Quantum and Veritone's partnership works on, is the hybrid model. It's not to say we can't leverage what's in the cloud, but we get the best of both worlds, where we can push the AI to your local storage, as well as leverage the abilities of cloud-based data as well. So this is the architecture and the way it looks from a Quantum Veritone deployment. So we have the Quantum Axelis range of storage appliances. So this could be our dual nodes or single node appliances that live in a customer's environment. Within there, we insert the aiWARE cognitive layer into the storage, running in a virtual environment inside of our controlling servers for the storage. And this offers the ability to scan and ingest. It also offers us the ability to do basic AI engines, audio to text, translation, facial detection, object detection with your data that's on your premise. So far, no data now has traversed any internet link to gain the benefits of artificial intelligence. Now, for our customers that want to use the more extensive 65 plus cognitive engines that aiWARE offer, we do also give the conduit for the customer into Veritone's AI Cloud, where the data is temporarily moved, passed from the StoreNext file system environment into the cloud for the purposes of further analysis of this data, and then is moved back to the storage. All the metadata that we capture from this information goes to Veritone's cloud. So what we're doing is we're passing that lightweight metadata information up into the cloud, which gives our customers the ability to log into a web interface to interact with those applications, to create those searches, to create those collections, and give them an avenue to act on that data. Do we want to push that to a Facebook marketing campaign? Do we want to push and advertise out on Twitter? Do we want to deliver this content to different CDNs? It gives our customers the ability to enact on data that lives on premise, but harness the abilities of searchable metadata in the cloud. And the data doesn't have to live with that metadata in the cloud. With our API integration that Veritone offers, there are ways to get that data out and insert that back into various different asset management systems, if that is our customer's desire. So the reason Quantum and Veritone are looking for this partnership is we acknowledge that a lot of customers do have a lot of data on premise, and it may not always be feasible for those customers to move all of that data to the cloud. We're capturing a lot of different sources in broadcast, post-production, and generally we are working off on-premise storage. Certainly for that historical archived content, we're probably looking at that being traditionally on tape, or more recently, maybe on-premise object storage solutions, which doesn't always work in well with web-only based AI engines. So we allow the customer to use their traditional way they like to work, pushing to storage. We leverage Quantum's ability to protect that data, being our heritage through our data lifecycle management products, moving that to the different archive tiers, but also giving us the ability to move that up to the cloud as well for customers who wish to have more of that hybrid storage approach as well. And the way we working with the complete ecosystem is our on-prem storage is with the AI-aware engine. We push the metadata up to the cloud. When the customer wants to find that particular video that they want to see, that links them back to the on-premise storage, which allows them to interact with that data inside their premises. So far, we've sent no big video files or audio files up to the cloud. We're just doing metadata. On the other end, StoreNext through Storage Manager can send that data up to the cloud for more processing if needs be.
Chris, nice question. If you've got an existing archive with like StoreNext Storage Manager archive, can that archive also be analysed by the AI-aware, or does it need to be restored, then analysed, and then put back to the archive?
Yes, so you're right. For existing archive customers, if that data has been stubbed or truncated, that data, yes, would need to come back because the full video audio file needs to be passed through that engine, the AI engine, to have a look at that. So, you think all of this sounds great, we've got a great partnership, a great story to tell for our customers, but is this really real? That's probably the next question you're thinking of is, how real is this for me? Are there people out there doing that today? And we would like to present to you one win case that we have had recently, and this is with Quantum and Veritone with Fox Sports in Brazil. So what we are doing with Fox Sports is taking all of their sports footage that they have new and existing and passing that through the AI-aware engines to derive different bits of metadata. So that's advertisements that occur on the sports field, it's different players, being able to tag them and follow their careers through the videos and the immense archives they have of all different codes and games, and give a quicker way for the organisation to find and react with video to different situations. You could have a situation where a very loved player of a particular code of football has died. We want to quickly come and find all the different vision of where he's sort of played different spots in his career and do like a montage or a spotlight to his career. So with AI-aware, it gives Fox Sports in Brazil the ability to quickly search on names or different events or different places or different times to quickly find this data and to be able to repurpose and reuse it for themselves. So it is a very exciting win that we have for Quantum. The partnership with Veritone and Quantum was announced at IBC this year, and shortly after we've now received this win from Fox Sports that we can now talk about. So I want to thank you everyone for your time this afternoon. I know it's after lunch and might be a bit hard to stay awake, but hopefully the topic of artificial intelligence and storage is an interesting one that has sparked your interest. If you want to discuss more with Quantum, we're in the back room behind there, and come see John and myself to talk about any storage needs you have, or want to talk more about artificial intelligence and storage. So thank you.
Some questions on AI?
You're going to use some of those other engines. You've got to push that content. There's certain ones you can
Yes, there are certain ones you can run on the rank, and we do run, but the full 65 engines you can't run inside ourselves.
So how does the training work with the 9 mil? Like, how is it?